Hi, this is Worldwide Ministries, and this is Generational Blessings, a division of Worldwide Ministries, and I'm Minister Thalia. The last time we discussed food, one of man's greatest temptations, A, course to fall of man, B, God's great plan in the garden to redeem man, and now today we're going to do C, Esau, the bread and the lentils. So we're going to look at the fall of another man because of the temptation of food. In Genesis 25, verse 27, it reads as follows, "And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sod pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore his name is called Edom. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, Behold, I'm at the point to die. What profit shall a birthright do to me? And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread, and pottage, and lentils. And he did eat and drink, and rose up, and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright." So here it is, you have Esau. He's out in the field, he's hunting, and we know that it's less than a 24-hour day. And just like you and I and other people, when we're on a job, we might be working hard and don't take lunch on time, and we get hungry. And what he did is he gave up his birthright, right? And now he was the third in the Abrahamic covenant. Surely Abraham talked to his sons, his grandsons, and passed down what this blessing was going to be. They must have known it was going to be something so special, although they don't know the details because he actually hadn't prayed over him yet. But he knew it had to have been something special. At least Jacob did. So anyway, here it is. He took his birthright, which was a gift from God, so lightly that God used the words that he despised his birthright. Now, what would a normal birthright entail? Well, the average one would be a special honor of becoming a family leader one day. And here's why his is so far greater. Abraham, we know the blessing God had on Abraham. So even before I read the blessing, I said, I know his is just not going to be average because it's not an average person. Abraham did things that were not average. So anyway, we're going to look at it in Genesis 27, verses 28 and 29. "Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee." So they're going to get a curse from God, from cursing him, and they're going to get a blessing from God if they bless him. So, I mean, they can try and curse him, but it's not a curse from God. But look at what God does for him. So anyway, this is what Jacob gets. So anyway, because of his insatiable appetite, he loses all of this. The power that food had over him, just to settle for one bowl of beans, a piece of bread maybe, and something to drink. So anyway, he esteems his blessing so bad. Now let's just look at the blessing that, let's go back to Genesis 25 and 23. We're going to look at something, what was ordained from the beginning of time. It was prophesied to Rebekah when the children were yet in the womb. "And the Lord said unto her, Two nations are in the womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger." So I'm going to explain that right now. The two nations in the womb are the Israelites, God's chosen, and the Edomites, a people that would cease to exist. Two manner of people would be separated and from thy bowels. One is Jacob, and one is Esau. "And the one people shall be stronger than the other people." So we know Jacob was the stronger one, and Esau was the weaker one because he lost his blessing. Okay, so Jacob becomes the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. And Esau becomes the father of the Edomites, somebody that nobody has heard about. And the people that would cease to exist. I searched the internet, looked around, could not find the Edomites. What I do find, it seems to be sketchy. Like, people really just don't know what happened. Some places now, years ago when I wrote this, many years ago, when I wrote this, I couldn't find Edomites. Now they're showing photos of who they think the Edomites might be. So anyway, an elder shall serve the younger. Esau became his brother's servant. Now, as we can recall, all this loss from a bowl of beans, a piece of bread, and a drink. Can you imagine if you just went to a restaurant and had a bowl of beans and stuff, and you had hunted all day, and you lose all of this, people bowing down to you over this? So once again, the power that food has, I guess it's sort of like sometime, you know, when you're fasting and praying, you get so hungry. I'm not saying you give in to temptation, but you just, even a bowl of beans looks good. But nonetheless, well, then again, with sometimes when you fast and praying, there's another warfare going on. But for him, he was just out in the field. He should have just waited. So anyway, we can't take the temptation of food lightly, because as I was saying before, food can be used to bless through fasting and praying. It could have been a blessing if he would have abstained from eating it just that one day. He didn't know when his father was going to die and pass that blessing over. But if he could have just held out, he could have been the one everybody talked about. Everybody talked about Jacob, his name changed to Israel, and it's, you know, all the great stories about Jacob now. And it could have been him, and he's written down, you know, honorably in the Bible after his name was changed. So anyway, when a person eats wrong, they, on your DNA, as you probably know already, you have, you might be prone to stroke, heart attack, cancer, or whatever. But when you eat right, you can pretty much prevent a lot of that just bypassing your own DNA. But nowadays, a lot of people are almost cursing their families from cooking wrong, frying up all the food, eating all the foods, processed foods, etc. And we're going to go into the right diet, the Bible diet. This diet was written a long time ago. If you go back to the book of Genesis, God talked about herbs being for food and fruits, and they had their vegetables. And then after Noah, we're going to look into it, how the lifespan is going to decrease when man starts eating almost everything. I still believe they did follow dietary laws, which we're going to look at, clean versus unclean. But anyway, for right now, we're going to hold off on that. But this is it. God bless you from Generational Blessings. Thank you.